One mistake could ruin my entire career. That thought has kept more new managers stuck, silent, and spiraling than any poor decision ever has. And here's the truth. It's not the mistake that does the damage. It's the fear, the freeze, the hesitation that follow it. Because when you're afraid to make one wrong move, you stop moving altogether. And leadership will not wait. So let's unpack this. Why does one error, one mistake, feel like it's going to be a career-ending catastrophe? And what do actual, credible managers do differently when they screw up? Picture this. You say the wrong thing in a team meeting. The room goes quiet. Someone looks down, you walk away thinking, oh, they have lost all respect for me. You replay it. You obsess over it. You might even back off in your next meeting trying to play it safe. That spiral, that is what kills your leadership, not the mistake itself. Here's why. Most new managers secretly believe the performance myth. The myth that says, if I do everything right, they'll trust me. But let me tell you this. Experienced leaders operate from a different lens. Trust builds when I recover quickly and clearly. Now, if you're new to leadership and you want to avoid a bunch of classic mistakes that most managers make, I put together a free guide called the Confidence Kickstarter Kit. It walks you through the mindset resets to shake off imposter syndrome, to help you own the room without overperforming, to lead with clarity, even when things feel a little shaky. Link in the description. Okay, let's go deeper. Here's what most managers get wrong. They think credibility comes from perfection. But in every high-performing team I've ever seen, credibility comes from how you handle the moments after the mistake. Did you own it with calm clarity? Did you stay focused on solutions, not the excuses? Did you reset the tone in the next conversation? Or did you disappear into guilt? In fact, the fastest way to destroy team trust is to overcorrect into indecision. Managers stuck in apology mode end up making their team nervous because no one wants to follow someone who's constantly questioning themselves. There's a pattern that I often see. A manager makes a call. It doesn't go well. So the next time they need to make a decision, they hesitate. They over-ask for input. They second-guess their timing. They soften their language. They say things like, maybe, I think, let's see. Trying not to seem too assertive. Their team, they don't see humility. They see uncertainty. Because here's the hard truth. Confidence isn't just personal. It's contagious. And so is fear. If your team senses that you're afraid of failure, they'll start bracing for your collapse instead of rallying behind you and your direction. So, what do the experienced managers do differently? They correct quickly, and they narrate the correction. Try this framing the next time something goes sideways. Try saying something like, here's what I expected, here's what actually happened, here's how we're going to adjust. It's one sentence, but it does three things. It shows ownership, it keeps focus forward, and it models exactly how your team should handle their own mistakes. The more you normalize clean, confident recovery, the faster your team becomes resilient. Now, let me throw you a counterintuitive insight most managers never hear. Failure builds your leadership brand, if you use it well. Think about this. Which manager would you trust more? The one who always seems so polished, but disappears when things go wrong? Or the one who says, here's what I missed, and here's how we're going to make this right? The second one earns real credibility. Not because they're perfect, but because they're steady. They don't panic. They don't blame. They lead through it. That's the kind of manager people will go the extra mile for. Not out of fear, out of respect. So how do you build this kind of steadiness? Start by killing the idea that one decision is going to define your future. That's imposter syndrome talking. That's the part of your brain replaying your old boss's tone or a moment in your past when failure had real consequences. But in management, failure is not the end of the story. It's the raw material of your next level. The managers who rise fastest aren't the ones who avoid the fall. They're the ones who learn how to land. So let's give you a real life move that you can use the next time things get a little wobbly. Here's the scenario. You rolled out a process update. It created more confusion than clarity. A couple team members quietly reverted to the old way. What you don't do is pretend it didn't happen. You don't blame them for not following through, and you don't avoid the topic in your next meeting. What you're going to do, in the next stand-up, you're going to say, I noticed some friction around the new process. That's on me. I skipped a step in how we rolled it out. Here's how we're going to realign. I'll walk you through clearly. We'll adjust the parts that aren't working. Let's make it clean and let's move forward. You just modeled accountability, adaptability, and calm authority in less than 30 seconds. That one move does more for your credibility than a week's worth of perfect execution. And again, here's another part that people don't tell you. When you lead through hard moments instead of dodging them, your internal confidence catches up to your title. Because now your brain has evidence, not just theory, and evidence says, I messed up, I stayed in the pocket, I led through it, and we got better. That's what shifts everything for you. So if you've been stuck in perfection mode, afraid that one wrong turn means your career is damaged forever, you've got it backwards. The real risk is staying hidden, staying quiet, staying too cautious to lead with clarity. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to be clear, fast, and steady in what happens next. And if you're tired of second guessing and you want the full proven system to lead with clarity, you're going to want to grab this, the Manager's Playbook. I've got a link in the description below. It is a flexible, work-as-you-go toolkit. It's packed with frameworks, word-for-word scripts, and mental models to lead with confidence, even when the pressure's on. So if you've ever walked away from a meeting thinking, did I just lose everything, all my credibility? This book, this one, is for you. No more winging it, no more wondering, just leadership grounded in clarity and calm. Because leadership is not about never falling. It's about becoming the kind of leader who always knows how to get back up. So when you're done there and you're done here, I'll see you in the next video.